President to initiate a special program to enhance the market for new inventions.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj in the country for a 2-day official visit.
Mixed opinions over the delay in appointing an Attorney General.
Report on alleged kidney racket centering India and Sri Lanka handed over to the Minister of Health.
Very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to Primetime News. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo, live on TV1 and Shakti TV. Bringing you the news tonight, I am Joel Outscoon and joining with me is my co-anchor Bernadine Jassing. A very good evening, Bernadine.
Good evening, Joel, and a very good evening to all our viewers.
News with the news from the President's Diary. President Maithripala Sirisena today announced that measures will be taken to strengthen the innovations of Sri Lanka.
The President was speaking at the event to present presidential awards for inventions.
The biannual Presidential Award ceremony for Sri Lankan inventors is organized by the Ministry of Technology and Research. Inventors who excelled in the years 2013 and 2014 are recognized at the event. APS Lakshman Vijayasinghe was awarded for his invention for the production of coir for the year 2013, while Nilan Chaturanga Lukuhettige won the award for 2014, where he invented an artificial limb similar to a human leg.
We need to declare a National Day for Innovations and draw the attention of the general public on its importance. While these inventors are being presented with these awards, on the other hand, we need to look into what programs have been prepared to ensure that these inventions go beyond and enter the sphere where they will be used by the general public. Therefore, I see that this is paramount that we create a market for these inventions under state policy and also further strengthen the inventors.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj arrived in the island this afternoon on an official visit.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj was welcomed to the country at the Bandaranaike International Airport by Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraveera. Swaraj began her political career in the 1970s and held the portfolios of Minister of Labour, Education and Media for the Haryana state. Later she entered national level politics and served as the Chief Minister for Delhi and also as the opposition leader for the Lok Sabha from 2009 to 2014. She is the current Foreign Minister of the Narendra Modi government and is serving in the position since 2014. Incidentally, she is the second woman to hold the position of Indian Foreign Minister after Indira Gandhi. She called on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe this evening at Temple Trees. She later held a discussion with the Prime Minister. The Minister of Foreign Affairs says that Sushma Swaraj is in the country to attend the 9th Joint Commission meeting of the two South Asian neighbours. During her 2-day visit to the island country, Swaraj will meet President Maithripala Sirisena and former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Prince Zaid Rad Al Hussein, will arrive in Sri Lanka on a 4-day official visit tomorrow. He is arriving in the country following an invitation by the government. This is his first visit to Sri Lanka following the retirement of Navanithan Pillai, the former UN Human Rights High Commissioner.
Former Bar Association President, Attorney-at-Law Upul Jayasuriya, speaking on this morning's Newsline program, stated that the delay in the appointment of the next Attorney General has rendered the Aegis Department's process inefficient.
So you don't see too much of a problem in the gap.
No, I don't see it consider it a problem at all, but except that they must go into the merits and the right reasons and then make the appointment in a responsible manner.
Is this dragging the feet all sort of to do with the sort of doubt that's going to be coming along, and that has now come along, about the appointment of the new Attorney General?
Yes, you are right. All that has to be considered. The people who are responsible for such delays.
Yeah.
There are nearly 25 cases that have been referred that are connected with these large-scale corruption
Yes, the
issues.
FCID and so on.
FCID issues, and also there are other cases where, in one instance, that was an attempt to assassinate the former president. The investigation was completed nearly 3 years ago,
Right.
and the Attorney General has been sitting on this file for nearly 3 years. I mean, they can't say we are still considering this matter.
Yeah.
There must be. It's a joke if
It's
they
a
say
joke.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just covering these files and they're going on.
Yeah.
In certain instances, the conduct of most of the officers, almost all the officers, have been great,
Yeah.
impeccable. But the conduct of just one or two persons
Yeah.
does not make a generality with
Yeah.
regard to the conduct of the Attorney General's department. The Attorney General enjoys total independence from all quarters.
The important thing is not to have the most senior, or just because a person is appointed as acting, that person need be appointed. But if he's suitable, most certainly he could be appointed. But more important is it must be somebody who's efficient, who's got a good knowledge of law, who's respected in the department, and who's an eminent person in the legal circles. Such people are found in the department, and I don't think there's any difficulty why you should search for anybody outside, because that will reach allegations that there has been a political undertone in this, which must not be so if it's going to be a free and proper appointment. Now, in the case, I don't think there's any problem, because there's now a constitutional council appointed under the 19th Amendment, and their majority view should prevail.
Secretary General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayake says that the President is yet to make a nomination to the Constitutional Council with regard to the appointment of an Attorney General. When News First made inquiries in this regard, Dasanayake noted that the Constitutional Council met last month over recommending the name of an acting Attorney General. The Secretary General of Parliament also noted that it was the President who had to nominate the name of a person to be permanently appointed as Attorney General, which would receive recommendations of the Constitutional Council and then be presented to the President.
Mr. Swadhagamlat had only been appointed in an acting capacity for 14 days. At the Constitutional Council meeting held on the 18th of last month, it was approved to extend the tenure of the acting AG until a new AG is appointed. Naming a person is the President's responsibility. Recommending or not is the Constitutional Council's responsibility. The President has still not named and sent the name of a new AG. The Honourable President and Prime Minister sought the opinion of the Bar Association with regard to appointing of an Attorney General. We informed that this appointment must be made without undue delay. The BASL also clearly stated that this appointment must be made from an officer who is at the AG's department, taking into account their dedication and service, and that the most senior officer of the AG's department must be appointed. Good governance will not become a reality if necessary steps are not taken to strengthen law enforcement agencies. By now, the Attorney General has retired. This government has failed to appoint a new AG when the previous AG resigned. We urge the President and the Prime Minister to appoint a law-abiding officer as Attorney General.
2 media briefings took place at the same venue today. The separate media briefings were convened by Mahinda Amaravira, the Cabinet Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development, and State Minister Dilip Vedarachi.
The Minister had said that Dilip Vedarachi, the State Minister, cannot do any work. The Cabinet Minister had made this statement to a newspaper. I feel disappointed and hurt when my own colleague makes such statements. The newspapers say that Dilip Vedarachi cannot be trusted.
Dilip Vedarachi විශ්වාසයක් නැහැ කියලා. මේ පත්තරේ කියතිනවා.
I did not mention anything that would make the headlines in the newspaper. I was speaking on the demonstration that took place against the use of illegal fishing equipment. The journalist continued to say that the State Minister had noted that he does not have much power. I gave a simple answer. That is not a serious issue.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමත්
Ranil Wickremesinghe made a special cabinet statement to give more powers to the state minister. I asked him and called for a discussion. I said that there is nothing to be divided.
There is a certain degree of power. If he is working well, there is no issue in dividing the power. We have granted him some powers after calling for discussions. We have not created any obstruction anywhere. We hope to have a discussion as to what specific task he needs to perform.
I said that I need to work to ensure the victory of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. He said that I was a UMP supporter. He said that during the elections I need to win from the United National Party and that he needs to win from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. He said that nothing will be divided and that he will work towards his victory. The President and the Prime Minister had made statements that under the government or good governance there will be no party difference. It is disappointing when such acts take place.
Everyone aims at the elections. People are elected through the election. Can we come here and say that we do not need anyone from the Hambantota district? Today I have been elected. I cannot work alone. At the end of the day, we must ensure that those who worked for us are also happy. He wants to make those who helped him happy. That is the truth.
He has appointed the chairman and the board of directors. I am not allowed to make any appointments to those institutions. I cannot even rectify a transfer made at those institutions. He is keeping the rogues who skimmed money during the time of Mahinda Rajapaksa. The rogues are being protected.
I have not appointed rogues. There is a good team. If he or anyone informs me of any unlawful act, I would take measures to remove those involved. I have not appointed any relative or family member. I state it with responsibility.
Well, on to your developing story this evening. Politicians and artists visited the remand prison today to inquire into the well-being of Yoshitha Rajapaksa.
Artists including UPF MP Kumara Velgama visited the Valikara remand prison today.
We have understood what is taking place. It is clear that they are seeking revenge from these persons. We met with Galabodate Yanusartero. He is also in hospital and ill. If you are to conduct an investigation, those who need to be investigated are in the open. The thieves are out.
Journalists questioned on the creation of a new political party.
We do not know of that. I am still an SLFPer. I am not aware of a meeting that took place yesterday. It has not been created as yet. Let's wait and see. I am still an SLFPer. No, we are SLFPers. The people are calling for the creation of a new party. That is the truth. I have not made any decision. You know about me. I was the first to step out. If he creates one, we shall look into that possibility. I am the one who made such decisions. I am not sure of that. A child is usually born in 9 months. If you say that is the symbol, then it must be the lotus flower. The Sri Lanka Freedom Front will be born. Be patient and don't rush into things. It will happen on time. We will even enter with the symbol of the canopy leaf. That is a definite. It will not change. We will drive away the good governance. Their lifeline.
Have we forgotten?
Providing cash vouchers instead of school uniforms. Following the good governance government being elected to power, the program of providing free school uniform materials to students to a new turn. Rather than providing the students with the school uniform material, the government decided to provide the students with cash vouchers. 1.3 billion rupees reached the students. 1 billion was given to the middlemen or the businessmen. They use it for commissions. There is a mafia in operation. However, this process was criticized following the issue that arose over certain practical implementations. Teachers' unions, principals' unions and even parents themselves were against this process. The validity period of a voucher was only until the 31st of December. However, following several issues being raised, the period was extended twice. After the voucher system was introduced, it is the principals and teachers who are being penalized. A principal has to sign thousands of vouchers. It was said that the issuing of these vouchers to purchase the school uniform material would end after the holidays of the third term. However, the process is yet to be completed. We will announce a day called the School Uniform Day. On that single day, all school uniforms of the students will be inspected. Then everyone will have to wear this uniform and all students will wear a new uniform. Some schools have not received the vouchers as yet. This clearly shows that the process was a failure. If the school uniform material was provided, there will be no issue. The minister said that when 2,300 million rupees was allocated for the uniforms, he saved 900 million rupees. What it meant was that school uniforms had been curtailed. At present, substandard material had been given to the student. This is a joke. The question is, was a minister appointed to make jokes? We call forward a process to provide uniform material for the students for the next year.
Have we forgotten?
Protests were reported from several areas today over several reasons.
Those protested in the Godallavela area today, obstructing vehicular movement on the Tangol-Bathra main road. They requested that a solution to the drinking water issue faced by those living in Godallavela, Unakuruva, Kandurupokuna and other areas be provided.
When we contacted the main branch of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, they told us that they will provide us with water in 24 hours, but so many days have passed and they still haven't given us water.
A group demonstrated on the Valhaputanna area in Haldamulla on the Colombo-Badulla main road against the transfer of the principal of the Haldamulla Ananda Central College. Vehicular movement on the Colombo-Badulla main road came to a standstill for over 3 hours. The riot police was also called in to control the demonstration. According to our correspondent, the demonstrators dispersed only after Minister Harin Fernando made a promise over the phone. When contacted, National School Director GM Aila Peruma said that the transfer was made on a service requirement. The National Freedom Front distributed handbills opposite the Fort Railway Station today against the visit by the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. The Fisheries Cooperative Society of the Northern Central Province and the All Ceylon Common Fisheries Association protested opposite the Fort Railway Station today. They claimed that they faced difficulty in continuing their trade due to the influence of Indian fishermen.
The report of the 5-member committee that was appointed to look into the alleged kidney transplant records centering Sri Lanka and India was handed over to the Minister of Health today.
The 5-member committee was appointed on the 23rd of last month following media reports which claimed that 6 Sri Lankan doctors were involved in this illegal act. The committee is chaired by Deputy Director General of Health Dr. Jayasundara Bandara. The other members of the committee are Deputy Director General of Health Dr. Lakshmi Somathunga, Senior Assistant Secretary Rohana De Silva, Director of Laboratory Services Kamal Jayasinghe and Specialist Dr. Rajapriya Balasurya. The committee was to submit the report within 3 days of being appointed, and following the new discoveries made into the racket, the submission of the report was delayed until today after Minister of Health Dr. Rajitha Senaratne instructed the committee to investigate the new facts. Reports that claim that officials from the Ministry of Health had charged a sum of $500 to permit a kidney transplant was the additional fact that was investigated. I have discussed a number of facts with the CID. The Director General wrote to the IGP requesting him to immediately begin investigations into the incident. They have begun activities with the international police on their level. We have only to make a certain decision on our policy regarding a limited number of facts. We have to conduct all other investigations with the Criminal Investigations Department of the country.
Well, another leg of the awareness program in areas affected by wild elephant attacks took place in Mihinthale today. This event is jointly organized by Newsfirst together with the Department of Wildlife Conservation.
The awareness program was initiated from Thalava in Anuradhapura and the program took place today at the Galmaduwa Sulubulu Rajamaha Viharaya. This area is one that is constantly threatened by wild elephants. The Galmaduwa village in the Mihinthale Divisional Secretariat is battered the most. Farmlands and houses are not spared by wild elephants that storm into the village. Locals from a number of surrounding villages attended the program. I live with my daughter and engaged in cultivation. However, at present the situation is as such that we cannot continue to live in this area.
We request the government to provide us with a permanent solution.
A new hotline was introduced for the locals to immediately inform the Department of Wildlife Conservation on an elephant attack. The number is 1992. This program was organized in a bid to take away the burden of the people who constantly face the threat of wild elephants. The program will take place at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Sri Vardhanarama temple in Galinbindunuwava.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka announced that with immediate effect, restrictions on remitting and transacting foreign currencies have been eased.
A statement by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka reads that foreign currencies can henceforth be remitted out of NRFC, RFC and RNNFC accounts and FEEA for any purpose, and prior approval need not be obtained for such remittances. It adds that up to $10,000 or its equivalent can be withdrawn in cash from such accounts for any purpose. Earlier today, International Monetary Fund representatives met with Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake. According to the Ministry of Finance, discussions centered around how Sri Lanka focuses its future amid the current economic problems faced in a global context and what steps should the country adhere to in keeping up with these challenges. It is notable that the group of representatives have arrived in the island in a backdrop where Sri Lanka is currently holding discussions intending to obtain a loan from the IMF.
Well, the much awaited 12th South Asian Games kicked off with much pomp and grandeur at the Indira Gandhi Stadium this evening. 467 Sri Lankan sportsmen and women are taking part in the South Asian Games. Well, on that note, we wrap up Primetime News for today. But before we wrap up, here's a reminder that you could keep abreast of the trending stories on our website, www.newsfirst.lk. For the news team, I'm Joel Outschool.
And I'm Bernadine Jai Singha. Take care and good night.
Good night.